Hi, this is Derrick Jensen reporting to you from the 2024 election season, which is more accurately known as the confirmation bias season. And this is what elections are every time is confirmation bias after confirmation bias. No, I don't love, I hate looking at election reporting, but I kind of love it for the sort of train wreck that it is because let's say there's a debate and no matter how the debate turns out, generally the response is our side did great, the other side did terrible. And it wouldn't matter if it was, let's take a great rhetorician from the past, Abraham Lincoln debating a 4-year-old. The people on the side of the 4-year-old would insist that Abraham Lincoln had cheated by using words of more than two syllables, and they would insist that the slobbering that came halfway through showed an intense desire to solve the problems of the day on the part of the 4-year-old. It's it's just there's that old song that I used to find cynical from the 60s that had the line about all the signs saying mostly hooray for our side. And when I was young and idealistic, I found it remarkably cynical and sneered at it. And now that I'm older and it strikes me as pretty much right on. And that I don't really know what else to say except that election season is really confirmation bias season. And I mean, this ties into something that I've done another talk about, which was that I've always found it disturbing when people say, as a Christian, I believe this, or as an atheist, I believe that, or as an anarchist, I believe this. And I've always found that completely backwards, that instead it should be because I believe this, I fall into the category Christian. It shouldn't be that the category determines what you think, but that is what election season ends up being. As a Democrat, I agree with everything the Democrats say, no matter how stupid. As a Republican, I agree with everything the Republicans say, no matter how stupid. As a libertarian, as a green, and it's just madness. It's just madness. I guess we could also argue. I mean, we talked before about Dunbar's number and how you can't really have participatory democracy, person to person democracy, with a population larger than about 120 or 140. And once you get that, you are going to start getting classes and cliques. And so my point is that I think that we have inside of us an inherent sort of tribalism, a loyalty to our tribe. And I think that that makes perfect evolutionary sense when we evolved in groups of 10 to 150 and an intense loyalty to them. And the problem is when that gets, and we can see this on larger scales. We can see, we see it every Sunday in football. We see it every baseball game, go Yankees, go, we're seeing it today. Today is a Saturday, and right now there are hundreds of thousands of people who are screaming their lungs out because their football team just did something they like. So there are all this tribalism comes out in all sorts of ways. And one of the ways I think that it comes out that I find regrettable is that it leads to political party loyalty as opposed to as opposed to two things. One of them is making decisions based on actual ideas and thinking for yourself. And the other is recognizing that, at least in the United States, like, I'm sorry, you're not part of either one of their tribes. So election season every time is 6 months of confirmation bias. Or another way to look at this is it's 6 months of a toxic mimic of tribalism. Because again, neither one of them is on our side. They're not part of our tribe. Uh, both of them serve corporations, both of them serve the powerful. They don't serve us, and they're not part of our tribe. And yet we stand there with our signs saying, hooray for our side.